everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Lyney. Now, Lyney would not do this usually. There are many things he would not usually see himself doing, and would not usually think of doing. It seems that when it came to you, a lot of things would change and a lot of things would become unexpected, even to him, even if he was the one enacting those things. He didn't know why you were wearing such a short skirt today, and why he just could not get his eyes off of you. No matter what he did, no matter how much he tried distracting himself, it was difficult to look away, to ignore it, and to ignore your presence and the effect that you had on him. And little did he know that getting him to react like this was one of the many things that you wanted when you wore that skirt. You wanted to tease him, to see how he reacts. And it does turn out that he reacts in a quite satisfying way. Little did you know there would be more than just a blush on his cheeks, or the occasional fidgeting, and the aversion of his eyes. No. He decided he had to take matters into his own hands, perhaps quite a little bit too literally, because before you knew it, he had gotten up and lifted up your skirt. You blushed brightly, immediately turning towards him and slapping his hand away. Lyney, what are you doing? Are you really just doing this? In broad daylight? You tell him, blushing brightly, and he looks a little bit nervous. Does it matter? The two of us are alone at home. I don't think the time matters that much. And you will agree on that, but you just shook your head, blushing brightly and looking away. Well, you could say didn't expect that of you. You say, nervous, and he just chuckles, wrapping his arms around you and pulling you close into his arms. You were pouting at first, a little bit embarrassed by his behavior, but after a couple more kisses and a lot of spoiling from him, it was quite alright. You would get past it. Neuvillette. Neuvillette is a blessing to have in your life. That was something you knew very well, and you admired him. You admired him and everything he was able to do for you. And although he can be quite hesitant about what he needs to do or what he wants, it's mostly due to it not being very clear to him. He has feelings that he's not able to quite identify. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do with all of them. He doesn't know what's meant to happen after he feels that rush in his heart, and the way he cannot think of anything other than you. That's why he knows that he has to do something. Maybe you're a little bit too evil to him, wearing that short skirt, tormenting him as he looked at you, knowing what he wants, yet still not knowing how to get it, until he decided enough was enough. He pinned you against the wall, lifting up the hem of your skirt, and your face, it had gone bright red as you looked up at him. Neuvillette, what are you doing? You can't be doing all of this. I mean, it's still morning, you say, your heart beating faster than it ever has. But then, he seemed so intense when you looked into his eyes. He seemed so determined. It doesn't matter, Wyan. What matters is our love, and it's still there, morning or night. Isn't that true? It is. I mean, it's not like I'm saying it isn't. You say, fidgeting, but he does not give you a chance to recover, cupping your face with his hands and kissing you deeply, a hand on the small of your back. There was a lot that he wanted to do, a lot that he felt, and you're totally the one to blame. because you could not hold back those feelings any longer now. He had to act on them. And he will apologize later if he's a little bit too excited. Wriothesley, well, he was a lot more intense than anyone else, really. He was clear about what he wanted, and he didn't see a point in hiding it, especially with you. Loving someone meant being transparent, and he was more than transparent. He was very clear, clear as water. And when he wanted something, he knew he'd be able to get it one way or another. Of course, providing that you wanted to. But he already knows what you want. He knows everything about you, because he puts care in everything that you say. When he listens to you, your words are the most important thing in the world. They're stuck within his mind, and they keep him occupied, thinking about the ways that it could make you happy. And right now, seeing you in that skimpy skirt, it was one hell of a fight, mentally. You were irresistible, beautiful in all the ways anyone could be, and he knew he had to do something if he wanted to feel like he could be normal about this. So, he actually just grabbed you all of a sudden, making you blush brightly, startled by the act. And before you knew it, he was settling you on his lap gently. Just stay here. Hey, what are you doing, Wriothesley? Surely it isn't the time. There is a time for everything, my dear. But as for our love, there is no specific time. We've got all eternity, he says, smiling as he kisses your cheek. And then he lifts up your skirt, making you blush brightly as he looks at you, and you slap his hand gently, a bright blush on your cheeks. That alone gets him to laugh, shaking his head. You're adorable, Ryan. Everything about you is. Even that little pout on your face, he says, quite entertained by your reactions as you blush brightly, and he kisses that pout off. He cherishes you in all the ways that he can. And if cherishing you keeps him occupied for a couple of hours, then it's perfectly fine. Nobody would dare to ask.